That's not where I'm going with that. I'm talking about you are just trying to be a little bit better. You're just trying to grow. You're just trying to move forward. That's all you're trying to do. You're trying to grow your mindset and to develop yourself into a person that you like and that you understand. But the people in the middle ground, they look at you like, oh, well, that don't benefit me. So you need to come on back here.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player. I was made to be
to refer a friend to some type of like expensive resort type thing, and then you haven't talked to this friend.
No.
If you get a free trip out of it, I'm down.
No.
Didn't get a heads up or nothing. These people called me twice, and I'm like, all right, maybe it's something serious. Answered, hello, is this Marcus Morton? I was like, yeah. All right, so your friends.
Oh.
Sounds familiar.
All right. So,
You got to say it.
oh,
And that was one. I was like, did Aaron get this also?
I did. I did. Yeah. So we actually going there like this September. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, legit.
yeah.
Legit.
So we had the same question in mind. We were like, is this real? Like, is that a
Right.
thing? Is that a thing? Like, is this like, yeah. So we I would say it's a false move, man. Because I'm like, yeah, it's cool and all that you thought about me, but why did you think about me? Like, are you getting a discount for this shit? Like, I feel like it's just like a refer a friend program.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get like $500 off your next stay or some shit, or you get like this gift card for a fancy restaurant or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I was feeling some type of way. I felt the same exact way. But
I mean, if you think about it, it could also be seen on the other token of, well, I mean, like, I'm enjoying this, so I want also other people to enjoy it.
yeah, I get that too.
Kind of just like the books. Word of mouth is like the number one way to get people to actually know your name. Like, we've never heard of Massanutten. We've never heard of,
This is true. That's
I
why
have.
I was like, you've heard of Massanutten?
Oh.
I
I used to live in Northern Virginia, so yeah, I did.
All right, true.
Okay, well, most people, unless they're exposed to that,
And you ain't
they
from
wouldn't
here,
have ever
so.
known. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been here forever
Yeah,
too,
I
and he
still-
didn't even know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but Lawrenceville is like,
Yeah, put my town out like that. It's a small area, folks. If it's a small town.
well, y'all got y'all up to 2 stoplights now.
No, they're one. They're one. And it's crazy because it's like we have a small town, but like big trucks love to drive through there for some strange reason. I don't understand.
Because for
it.
some reason, like, there's no highway through there, but people need to get through there. Like, it's the strangest thing. Like,
But
I
there's
was
a
looking.
highway on the outside. Where are they trying to go?
I mean, but to go west though, like when you going west, you got to drive through Lawrenceville. You ain't got no choice.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, well, they can't do back roads either like that. So yeah, you're right. True.
Yeah. So yeah, we doing this episode a little early. Real early, earlier than we are ever doing episodes actually. Because even when we do the virtual episodes, we don't get on until about 11 or 12 o'clock. But we managed to take full advantage of today. I was asked if I wanted to leave early,
Right.
and I was like, she was like, wrote my name on the list, and I was like, that's AA Ron with two A's, one R. Like, and make sure you put Marcus on there too. She looked at me like,
Right.
what? I need Marcus. Make sure you put his name on that list. Like, if she didn't know that there was a connection beforehand, she definitely do now. Like, do I sound low, or is my mic, or is my headphones just low?
You're lower than usual.
I sound low to y'all. I don't even know which
I'll touch
microphone.
my coffee.
I need to see where I'm at.
Don't touch my coffee.
See, that's why, and that's another reason why we need a different mixer, like because the one that we looking at will show us which mic is actually talking on the screen. So yeah, that sound better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, because I felt like I sounded a little low. And Marcus sounded high as hell on the last episode too.
Really?
Like he sounded higher than both of us.
Maybe it's because they messed with the mixer when they were recording last.
I did it.
Well, then you messed it up.
I didn't really change anything except for that microphone over there that Courtney usually sits at, where I had to turn her all the way up because she whispers in the microphone.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Soothing
but
sound.
I guess we should start a podcast, huh?
Yeah, I guess we can roll right into it. All right, so
I mean, we could start with the intro.
oh, true. Wow, it is too early. Yeah, we do.
Take two. Cut.
Okay. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we are back here with Alyssa.
Woohoo!
You always introduce her like she's a guest.
I'm just
It's
awesome.
just like it's us
Okay.
first, and then it's our ladies.
I think you took that too literal.
Oh, wait.
She's always here, so I don't have to
Oh.
introduce her like a guest, but you know.
It's okay. We know that you two are the main ones.
Trying to.
All right. I tried to pass the torch.
34 people.
I try to pass the torch, and they always give it back to me backwards.
It's a relay race.
They hand me the fire first.
You're three of them.
Ooh.
I'm 3.
Relay
Yep.
race.
Okay.
That'd be a fun thing.
All right, whatever the hell that means. Anyway, so yeah, man, it's been a bit of a weird, strange, awkward, very undetermined week. I guess I don't know how to put things into words right now, like how my week has been going. All I can say though is that if there was a chance to be negative about anything and everything, this week was the week.
Come on.
This week was the week. I mean, bro, from work to home to me almost flooding the house yesterday.
Yeah. Good old times.
Yeah.
Homeowners.
Yeah, you know,
Drain flies.
drain flies, man. I don't want to talk about
That will
drain
be the
flies,
death of
but
our
I will
house.
talk about yeah, because you know,
If it weren't for them.
flames. I heard they do real bad in flames.
Oh, Jesus.
So the house probably will be on fire next week. I mean, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say that out loud, just in
Probably
case.
not.
Just in case, you know, the insurance people are watching.
So this episode today is brought to you by drain flies.
By whatever that fan is.
Fuck them, is what I'm gonna say. Fuck them. Fuck all of y'all. And I hate those. All right. So we ain't gonna make this episode about drain flies, but I will say that drain flies are the reason why the house got flooded, because it was a preventative measure that I was trying to take for the drain flies, which is the reason why the house got flooded. And the water went across 3 rooms. I'm gonna show you the picture of the not the picture of pancakes, because that's what was on my phone when I turned it on. But this was my hallway last night. And I had on shoes when I came in, but Alyssa, when she comes into the house, the first thing she does is take her shoes off, and she asked
Squish.
me, and I was like in the middle of saying something, walking through the house, and she's like following me. She was like, "Why is the floor wet?" It's like, the floor is wet.
It's soaked.
She was like, "It's soaked. There's water."
My socks are soaked. My feet are cold. And we have
Yeah.
footprints.
Yeah, and I looked down. It literally looked like like mud was coming up through through the floor, through the carpet, and I'm like, hold up, where in the fuck is this water coming from? I'm so lost, so confused. I'm like, bruh, I knew it was a bad pipe in the bathroom somewhere. I knew it was something wrong with the drain, but I'm like, I don't know if it was that bad. And I'm like walking through the house trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, where everything is at. Like if all of the water is turned off, like I don't know what to do at this point. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Only thing I can think about was like the wet carpet situation that happened in the apartment. So I'm like, all right, still got the fan. Let me go put the fan there so I can like at least dry the water up or whatever. Start that running. And check the garage, and I'm like, oh, it's water out here, too.
Whoa.
I'm like, yo, I don't know. Like, it's crazy. Actually, the water from the garage might have actually been from the condensation line
that we tried to also plug up because of the drain flies.
Yeah, we tried to plug. Well, we didn't try to plug it up. We
tried
to
just
make
put
sure
it
that
back on.
Yeah,
right?
I put it back on like it was.
Yeah,
and for whatever reason, I guess there probably was a drain fly issue in this house before we got here. And the people who lived here before, like, all right, so you know how when a car is on for a long time in the heat, and you turn the AC on, you get condensation running from under the car because there's not a condensation line for the AC compressor inside the car, but the water is allowed to drip to the bottom. You also have the same kind of system in your home AC where there's a condensation line that runs to your drain to drain the water out. So in this situation, we're looking, the condensation drain was plugged up. So the plug I pulled it off, and there's water just crashing down out of it. I'm talking like waterfall. And I'm like, this is a line that, by the way, it's supposed to drip. Like, drip, drip, drip. And there was like water just crashing out of it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that could have did that. That's possible. Wow. So I looked at that as the solution to the problem. I'm like, all right, cool. That looked like it stopped everything. And I'm like, all right, bet. Perfect. Alyssa, you want to tell your side of the story at this point?
I knew that wasn't it. So my background is coming from an insurance standpoint and just hearing the horror stories of, hey, a pipe burst under my floor in the foundation, like the carpet is ruined, all my floor is ruined, I'm like standing in ankle deep water. I gotta figure this out. Like, so there's like Serve Pro that's gotta be called. There's like a bunch of remediation things that go on. Like you have to hire
Shout out to
someone
Serve Pro for being international. I thought that was just a Virginia thing, man. They are everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And so just like knowing all the things like in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, shit, we're going to have to order this. We're going to have to look into this. We're going to have to call a plumber. We're going to have to find someone that's willing to go under the foundation. We're going to have to figure out where the source of this is. Plus there's the drain flies. Plus there's this. Plus we got the flooring. Plus we got the, like, we got to figure out where to put all this carpet and things.
She thought about all that in a matter of 10 seconds.
I did.
In the matter of 10 seconds. I literally saw her start convulsing in the middle of the hallway.
I was not convulsing.
Standing in the puddle, still having those thoughts.
Okay.
In her socks.
But you got to think, like, I've received like at least 10 of those calls, like, of the nightmares and just like how things can go wrong and like people's plumbers like stealing stuff from them in the process and like making an additional crack in the foundation and all this, that, and the other. And I'm like, easily $5,000 per trip, like for each person. Like Serve Pro would probably charge another $3,000. Like the fixing the foundation, fixing the pipes throughout the entire house because these probably have to be upgraded because they haven't been redone since the 70s when this house got built. All these other things. I was like, okay, how are we going to come up with this? How are we going to come up with that? How are we going to come with this? When are we going to find them? Do we have to shut off the water? Do we have to do this? Do we have to do that? Is there mold? Did this happen before? Like all these other things. Like even when we thought that it was the condensation line, I was like, oh, okay, so that's probably why they plugged it up. And that's why they didn't, that's probably why they had like this issue with the floor and it's probably just dried weird, and it probably has mold and things like that. And I'm like, is this healthy? Like, do we have to find something? And then he's like, no, it'll be fine. I'm like, but we gotta do something.
So she had all those thoughts. Meanwhile, like she's like, and it's weird timing because on the way home, I was telling her about a post that I saw, and it was like, attention introverts, listen.
You
but
said
do
empaths.
Empaths, sorry. Attention empaths, yes. Attention empaths, listen, but do not absorb. And meanwhile, we get home, and the first thing she does is start spazzing out about water in the floor. And I'm like, I've been here before. I'm from the hood. People do shit like weird. You know, you call Ray from down the street, and Ray hook up a water line underneath your sink, and he put duct tape around it instead of using like instead of using pipe adhesive or anything like that. So I've seen this before. Just go ahead and put the fan out, and you know, it's like a scientist. Like, I put it down, I put the fan there. If it dries up, that means that we ain't got no more water. If it don't, that means we still got a problem. Go from there. So one step at a time. So I'm sitting here looking like, yo, and I'm watching her. Just, she's like, I can see her brain going like, pew, 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 pew. Like her eyes are darting every time she has a new thought. She's going back and forth with all these new thoughts. And I'm just like, hey, it's okay. We will figure it out. And then, like, I was like, when I knew it was serious, when she was like, well, maybe I do have to sell my car. I'm like, whoa, how we get here? How did we get here? What happened? Like, yo, like, we don't even know what the problem is yet. It could be like a $10 problem. You done figured out a way to get 15,000 back off the $10 problem. I'm like, yo, we about to be in the hole even deeper. So, needless to say, with my optimistic nature, I put the fan down and was like, all right, you hungry?
Oh my gosh.
And then for it not to be the issue, and it wasn't until after I made like his lunch and things for today that I was like, okay, now I'm just tired. I'm just gonna go lay down. Whatever.
Yeah.
And like, and then I was like, just thinking in the back of my mind. I was like, okay, what else do we need to do? Like, what do we need to prioritize? Do we need to shut off the water? Like, are we gonna go without showers? Are we just gonna turn it on for like the time that we do showers? Things like that. Then I heard drip, 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 and then I was like, wait, shut up. Do you hear that? And then he was like, hear what? And then he was like, I'm hungry. And I was like, no, shut up. Listen. And so I go open our bathroom door, and like there's water all over the floor. Like it's pouring off of the sink. And I was like, shoot, the drain, it's still going. Like the sink is still going. It's still dripping. It's still draining.
So what the issue ended up being was, I was the last one that went into that bathroom, so it was definitely my fault that that almost flooded the house. Because of the drain fly issue, we were plugging the drains up,
Right.
and I put the little drain down in there because there's no, you know how usually the drain has a little button on the back of it. It push the little bobble up or whatever. Mm-hmm. That thing was completely broke, and you know I'm gonna get to that in a second of how I found out that it was broke. We're going to talk about the old owners of this house in a second. I'm going to get to that. Boss of False on that one coming right up. So I put it down, and I ran a little bit of water in it, and I turned the joint off. But I guess when I turned it off, I didn't turn it all the way off. So that joint rose up, and it filled the sink up, and it just kept filling the sink up until,
over like 13 hours.
Yeah, for 13 hours. 14, actually, because we were gone for 10.
We didn't even realize it until like
it was like
8 o'clock.
3 o'clock, 3 hours after we got home.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, so she found it, and I was like, "Oh fuck! All right, cool. Pull the plug up," because she couldn't get the plug up. I'm like, I kind of know how to jimmy it on out of there, and turn the sink off, and everything was all fine and dandy. Now we just got damp carpets now, so we're just gonna keep the fan running until everything dry up and shampoo the shit out of the rugs, carpet. Even though we're gonna pull them up in a few months, so. Yeah, man. Fun
It's
stuff,
fun.
man. Fun stuff.
Homeowners,
Yeah, so
beware.
that drain, man. So Bossifos, that the drain broke, and they put like a little piece of plastic in the bottom loop of that joint, and like counter levered it with like duct tape, and put it down in the drain.
What?
So the way the drain plug is
Uh-huh.
just the little silver top,
Yeah.
and it got the little 4-way plastic piece on the bottom.
Uh-huh.
The little 4-way plastic piece has a loop at the bottom, so a rod can go through. So that little button can go up and down,
Yeah.
and pull it back up and pull it back down when you press the button or pull the button up, whatever. They had a little piece of plastic in there that was looped down to a wad of duct tape and wrapped it up and stuck it down in the drain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray from down the street did that though.
We definitely trust Ray Ray to fix our house, right?
Yeah, I mean a case of beer and a bite of your and a slice of your pizza that night. Yeah, Ray could do a whole $1,400 job in 2 hours with a case of Budweiser.
Case of Budweiser and a pack of Newport shorts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And she think I'm playing when I say stuff like that.
We better not hire any
stuff like
Ray
that.
Ray down
Stuff
the
like
street.
that actually happens
Yeah.
though, and I'm like, yo, for real.
Yeah.
And like for real, like let's, and we gonna take this into the topic because I want to start talking about expectations and manifesting your thoughts. And I feel like this is a real appropriate conversation. It's going to and it's very close to home because this kind of goes off of. Are you okay with this?
It's fine.
You okay?
That's fine.
All right, so I want to talk about manifesting your thoughts, man, because I don't think people understand how powerful it is, how powerful the brain is. Your brain, though it may not be connected to anything around you, your brain can literally create your reality around yourself, outside of yourself. Like it's so crazy. I can ride through the town, and I can say, all these lights are going to be green. Even if I come to one red light, all the rest of them are green. Regardless of what I say, some one of those things that's going to become true eventually because I'm driving through the town. All the lights going to become green. Right. How you look at it and how you perceive it is always important. If I go through the same town and I say, "Man, all these lights better be green," first of all, I'm saying the same thing, but I'm coming to it with a different attitude and a different emotion. Therefore, if I go to all the lights and all the lights red, now I'm pissed. Now I'm setting the tone for the rest of my day. So, how do y'all feel about that, man? Like, how do y'all perceive that the process of manifesting the things around you?
Okay. All right. So this is like dumbfounding, amazing. Because the topic I wanted to get into is kind of similar, or damn right, spot on. So, it's
Great
kind of
minds think alike. I put that out there.
it's kind of like being expired and jealousy. So, something happened recently. You put out the book, and we've had basically two people kind of had the same process, had the same thoughts, but like different attitudes towards it.
Yeah.
One
Towards
person,
the book.
yeah, one person we know, he got jealous because you were getting so many accolades on the book.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, on my side, I was like, I'm inspired. I want to know how you did it. You like, you sparked something in me that made me want to do like something similar, something more, just to get on your level.
Yeah.
I know you're one of my close friends.
Yeah.
You're like family. Having that in my corner, that raises me up. So why this person, I don't know how close you are with this person, but he had the total opposite mindset towards that.
Yeah.
Like he could have, got with you. Y'all could have been working on something, together, or you could have helped him do something in his life that was similar, or something like that. Like open doors for him that he, had no clue could be open.
Mm-hmm.
So that's better.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. Lee, don't make us wait for it.
So, the reason that he says that this hits very close to home is just because, understandably, I was exhausting to myself, not only to myself, but him. Over the last couple of years, I've noticed that in the past, I used to be like this happy-go-lucky. I always used to say, like, I'm the indefatigable optimist based off of, like, my favorite book by Dean Koontz. And just, I realized that over the last couple of years, like, there's a fine line between, like, being the optimist that just goes through life and everything's good and, don't look at me. You're gonna make me cry. Just kind of...
Don't do that.
I'm trying not to.
Keep going. You good.
Just trying to go through life and just kind of take things as they come and understand that things are always going to get better, that there is always a fix. One thing that my old boss used to always say was everything's fixable, and whatever's not fixable, we can figure it out until it is, or it's not the end until it's figured out, and these other things. And just over the last couple of years, I don't know if it's just been me trying to focus on taking off my own blinders to where I'm like, yeah, no, the bad doesn't exist. Nope, it's not there. But just kind of like focusing on how to get to the point that I'm getting past it. That's really struggling with me. So just kind of trying to figure out how to kind of embody that secret, like the, is it the manifestation secret or something like that? Like that documentary that came out like up 10 years ago. Like I was blown away when I first saw it, and then I was like, oh yeah, that might work, maybe. And then I started to believe it for a while, and then all of a sudden it dropped off. So I think that it's just one of those things that I really struggle with. I think that people have a hard time kind of balancing like focusing on growing yourself, but then also dealing with the fact that by trying to grow, you're also pointing out, like, shining a spotlight on the things that are wrong with you so you can try and fix it.
That's deep.
So I know that myself, I have a huge problem with that. I don't like admitting my faults. I don't like admitting that I'm a failure in something. I don't like it not admitting that I'm not perfect in something. And so that manifestation piece, it's really, really difficult right now. But I'm working on it again.
Yeah.
And we all are.
We all are, right? Yeah, it's like that's a daily struggle for everybody, man. And like I told you this morning, you've come a long way, because though you may not feel like it right now, you're working your way back to the indefatigable optimism. But the problem, the thing is that most people need to understand is like, if I'm optimistic, why am I optimistic? Like, am I optimistic because I'm just choosing to ignore all the bad things, or I'm optimistic because, like, you got that middle ground, right? You got the optimism that you got when you don't know nothing, and then you got the meh, and then you got the optimism, and like in that meh, that middle ground, that's where you like rise up the scale of negativity. Like that's where people are just like, yo, it ain't gonna work. Don't even do it. Don't even bother. We tried that. We did that. It still ain't work. Look at where we at now. Like we still ain't moved nowhere. Like you got people who do that in that middle ground, and then you had that other space where it's like, I'm optimistic, but I'm optimistic because I know what I can do. I'm optimistic because I've been here. I'm optimistic because I did that. I'm optimistic because I know better. Like you had that second space where you have to get to understand, like, yo, like there are bad things happening everywhere. There is like, yo, the world is a fucked up place right now. Like I know it is, but my world is not fucked up. Their world is. and you know, like at some point, and I understand, like there's people who they kind of feel like they don't want to get to a place where they feel like they're selfish. And that's what it is. Like, yo, I don't want to be selfish. And so because I don't want to be selfish, I'm going to stay at this middle ground and if I stay at this middle ground, then the people who can't get to that higher ground, I can relate to them right here. Because if I know for a fact that if I go here, then I'm going to have to ignore these people that's in this middle ground. Mm-hmm. Let me throw an example just in case somebody didn't understand that. So I go, like, I'm in this space where I'm like, yo, everybody around me is negative. Like my mom is negative, my dad is negative, my girlfriend, boyfriend, husband's wife, whatever the case is, brother, sister, cousin, whatever the case. Everybody is negative. Everybody is like, you know, I love these people. I adore them. I would do anything for them. But then I started to realize that the attitude, it's not the doing for them that makes me stay in this place. It's the attitude about why we're doing these things and the cycle that we continuously keep doing every single day. I wake up every single day and I listen to you complain. I wake up every single day. I got to do this for you. I got to do that for you. I got to do this for you. And you ain't got off your ass to do nothing for yourself. But then I was like, all right, cool. Optimism is going to take me into a place where, all right, now I know that I'm learning a little bit more. So now I know that I can't come back to you and keep doing this right here in the middle ground. So I'm going to move over here. Well, here's what happens. The people that you're trying to leave behind, and though you're not trying to, and I ain't trying to say like you're trying to get out these people's lives. That's not where I'm going with that. I'm talking about you are just trying to be a little bit better. You're just trying to grow. You're just trying to move forward. That's all you're trying to do. You're trying to grow your mindset and to develop yourself into a person that you like and that you understand. But the people in the middle ground, they look at you like, oh, well, that don't benefit me. So you need to come on back here. And it's not always just people. Sometimes it's just things. Sometimes people can't break away from the habits that they have in that middle ground. So you wake up every single day and you say that this is where you want to be. You want to be on that higher ground, but you keep doing stuff that the middle ground people keep doing.
I've been through that in life. Like, how can I? Well,
yeah, you was nodding your head the whole time.
Yeah,
you better come with some
like,
heat.
So, I wouldn't say things came easier to me. It's just like my understanding level for like the spiritual, the emotional, the just like simple stories in the Bible. I would understand them, and like a lot of times in church that like I'd be here with the word or the teachings or whatever, and everybody else they're just like, oh well, you know, I got this and that going on, and I'm just like,
excuses.
It's simple.
Excuses.
Like, and like I didn't want to, like, I guess in this case, like leave them behind. So I would stay in that middle ground. Like, so like what I have or like my life will be relatable to theirs. Cause you know, they're good people. I love them to death. It's just that feeling of like you leaving behind people. What is that?
We need an insurance bucket because there's about to be somebody pissed off on when they hear this episode. There's about to be somebody pissed off. I know it. I just got that feeling.
It's a hard feeling, so I completely understand. But like in the end, like you have to take care of yourself. It's not being selfish. It's just sometimes you just not know more, but you're called to be something different. You're called to be more, and then sometimes those people they either don't hear that calling or they have something. There's something else going on. Like they have to deal something with them first before they can get to that level. So it's
most of the time people just ignore it.
With that too, yeah.
Yo, for real. Like you'll have people, and you just talked about it. Like a dude who literally had access to us. Mm-hmm. He had access to us. He had he was in a position where he could learn to be a part of that,
Yeah.
like to get out of that rut that he's in, because he's still in the same rut. He's still in the same exact rut that he was in when we started this, bro. And and he so he's in the same exact rut that he was in when we started, bro. And like we not extend our hand to him
multiple times.
even after everything blew up, and you know, animosity was in the air and tensions grew. Like, we still was like, yo, you around us, there is no reason you should have did that. You should have known better. Come back, bruh. All we ask you, look, hey, we doing this joint on this day. You invited. What you gonna do? Man, yeah, I'm coming. Yeah, I'll be there, man. Come up the day of, and I hear from his girl that he went to go do something completely irrelevant that had nothing to do with his growth. So every single time, if every single time I throw a growth opportunity at you, you reject it, what does that tell me?
You don't want it.
You don't want it. You absolutely do not want it. And most people, bro, they don't understand. Like, we gonna talk about the like manifestation, bro. Like, you, if you manifest darkness, you don't get nothing but more darkness. But if you manifest light, then you shine light on not only your own darkness, but you can shine light into other people's darkness as well. But here's what I want y'all to understand. It is not your responsibility. It is not. If you are the one shining light, it is not your responsibility to go into these other people's houses and open their blinds for them. That's not how that works. You are in your own space. You take care of your own star player. You figure out your own internal battles, and you move forward. I can't say that I want to be in a successful relationship with Alyssa and keep thinking about what happened with my ex. I can't think about the fact that my mom and dad, they at some point they were about to file for divorce. I can't think about that. That's their problem. That ain't mine. I ain't got nothing to do with me. I can't think about the fact, and like some people say, like, yo, when a man ain't got a good relationship with his mom, like her mom even said the same thing. Her mom was betting against me and said the same exact thing. He don't have a good relationship with his mom, so how can he possibly have a good relationship with you? Yo, that's not how that works. I'm not my mom. She is not my mom. That is not my mother. This is not my mother. Like, yo, for real. Like, yo, she did not give birth to me. This is the love of my life. That's completely unrelated. Like they say, wait, that ain't got shit to do with the price of tea in China. Ain't got shit to do with it. Like, for real. Like, I can separate that because they are completely unrelated. I can't go off of the relationship that I have with my mom and bring that into our relationship. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with me loving her. It ain't got nothing to do with me with our future together. It ain't got nothing to do with anybody else and how they feel about our relationship. It's completely unrelated. My issues is with her. My issues ain't with my mom.
So, all right. How do people discern that? Because, like you said, a lot of people they'll go into relationships with baggage, with the thought of, oh, I'm going into this relationship, but all these past things that happened to me, oh, I'm expecting that in this. Like, no, that's a no. Because like I said in a previous episode, when you go into like a relationship or whatever, always have that fresh mindset that, all right, this is a new person. They're not gonna do me the same. Even though, like, once you're in that relationship, there might be like, I guess certain things that they do just like the other person, but you still should have that fresh mindset. Because why get in a relationship in the first place if you just have that thought that it's gonna fail?
My question is, why do they teach us history in school?
So to learn from past mistakes.
So if you taught me history, and history in this sense being everything that happened with your ex before you went into your new relationship, if I know history of what happened in my past relationships, then what do I do with that information moving forward? Here's what you do. And here's what most people, I'm going to tell you what most people do first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to tell you what you should do. And I want to change some perspectives. I want to be able to, at the end of this episode, answer the question of how do I not create the issues that that I don't want to happen in my life. So what most people do is they go into the relationship and everything is good. Everything is always good at the beginning. I promise you. That's the
Puppy
whole
dog
reason
phase.
for the puppy dog phase, the puppy love phase, or the honeymoon phase, or whatever you want to call it. Bro, that's the whole reason for all that. Like, that's why people do it, because everything is always fresh, it's new, your endorphins are up, you good, your serotonin levels are high, everything is like, everybody is like, yo, I am so in love with this new person. Like, this is so new, and you know, it's shiny, and this a new car. Like, yo, you got a new vehicle. You whipping now. So once you like, bruh. All right. So I'll even connect it to this. Like, what happens to a person who gets a car? Like, you ever seen somebody who get a new car? Like, somebody who like really wanted a new car. What do they usually do when they get the new car?
They keep up with it. You know, they make sure the oil is in there. They clean.
How they driving, Mark?
Oh, laid back, boy, stunting.
Slow. Is the word I was going for. They driving slow. Most people, when they get new cars, they are fascinated with their car. Like you said, they detailing it every week. They washing it every week. You know, they like a speck get on it. They out in the parking lot wiping it down with a napkin and all that other dumb shit. But what happens if a scratch get on it? You see where I'm going with this, right? They get a scratch on it. You following?
No, I haven't never
They get
really cared about my cars to that degree.
You're not most people. You're an anomaly. Most people, when they care about something, and it's not even about the car. This is like when something is new and it's fresh and it's shiny and it's yours, and you want to lay claim to it. When it's new, you care about every inch and every orifice of it. But as soon as something happened to it, the smallest thing happened to it, and you realize that it's not as valuable as it was when you first got it, your whole mentality switch up. Your whole mentality switch up. Somebody get a scratch on their car and it chipped the paint. All of a sudden, that ain't even the same car no more. They treat it just like the old Honda Accord that they used to have that had 148,000 miles on it. They treat it the same exact way. All of a sudden, it's not new no more. It's not fresh no more. I don't want it no more. Damn, why did I even buy it? Now you get to regret. Why did I even buy this? It's the same for relationships. You get into a relationship, everything is fresh, everything is new, everything is shiny. And then all of a sudden, you realize that you're in a relationship. There's two ways. Y'all both humans. Y'all both make mistakes. Damn, I cried for the first time. Damn, we had our first argument. Damn, why did I get with this person? Or why did I get married to this person? So what happens in this scenario? And I'm still on the same topic because I know I used to lose track of what I'm talking about a lot. So I'm still here. I still want y'all to follow me. What happens to most people is that once they get into that mindset, they get into that mode of, damn, what am I really doing here? What am I really doing in this relationship? How is this relationship really going to serve me? And they start asking those questions. What you do when you ask those questions, and you think it's all internal. You thinking like, okay, yeah, I'm going to show this person I love them. But internally, I'm going to keep thinking these questions because I'm really trying to figure it out. But what you don't understand is that thoughts become things, and that your thoughts now becomes your actions, because now that you're not necessarily asking those questions to the person that you're with or that new shiny thing that you have, but now you're starting to treat it differently. Now you don't treat it with the same love, kindness, and respect that you did when you first seen it and you were excited about it. Now you're just going with the flow of things, and you're thinking in your mind that, oh, they don't know any better. I'm just going to continue asking these questions in my mind. But in all reality, that person probably knows. If that person was smart enough and was vigilant of what you do, and they really had their attention on you, they could feel that.
Yeah.
They could feel that. How many times are you saying like people just like in a random situation, and like the couple is just having a good old time. I've seen it in movies. They having a good old time, and the guy looks over at the girl and says, "So how long has it been?" And she's like, "What are you talking about? You're not in love with me anymore. How long has it been?"
True.
And you thinking it's all in your head. You thinking it's all in your head. You just sat up there and you fell in love with this brand new vehicle, and then you like, yo, the new joint just came out. Damn, this joint here, man, I don't even want it no more. It's not even that cool, man. Damn, bruh. And then you mess around and subconsciously the world around you has molded to your thoughts. So now something happened to you, right? And I give you a perfect example, fam. I promise y'all this is real life. When I was 16 years old, I got my first car. And I've never told this story on the podcast. I was 16 years old, got my first car. It was a bright red Hyundai Accent. And for y'all who don't know what a Hyundai Accent is, it is the perfect car for a little tiny female that's about under 5'3", but it is a horrible car for a 16-year-old standing at 6 feet.
Come on.
Horrible. Like I got into the car and my knees was around the steering wheel like this, bro. Like it was bad. And I mean, I'm talking with the seat all the way back. I'm talking like somebody had to turn boat-legged to sit in the back seat behind me, bro. Like I'm talking like the car is small, like dumb small. I think it's smaller than a Cobalt. Like it's dumb small. And when I got that car, and 16 years old, you thinking you know what you want or whatnot. You thinking that you got all the answers. I'm looking at the car, man. I'm like, yo, I don't want this car, man. I want a new one. I want a brand new car, man. Man, this car. Like I don't even like this car. This joint's slow. It don't do nothing. And I'm like finding all the reasons to not like the car. But before I started driving, I loved it. Y'all gotta hear what I'm saying. Before I started driving, when I didn't have my license, when it was just a learner's permit, a piece of paper that sat in my wallet, I loved that car. I couldn't wait to drive that car. I couldn't wait to hit the road with that car. But after I got it, and I realized some things that was going on in the back end, and I realized that the car won't mine in the first place. My mom kept trying to pigeonhole me with the car, all that bull. Like I realized, like, yo, I don't want this car no more. But I was still driving it. But I was just saying out loud that I don't want it. My attitude showed that I didn't want it. I stopped taking care of it. I stopped washing it. It got all damaged, beat up, and I let it fall by the wayside. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. In the midst of me saying that I don't want this car, I hate this car, I can't stand it, I want a new one, I got into an accident. And I can't tell you right now, at this moment, that the way that I was thinking and my thought process at the time wasn't the reason why I got into that accident and totaled that car. Right. I totaled the car specifically, and I want to say that, specifically because I had the wrong attitude about what that car was to me. And I ended up losing it because of that. So that's what most people do, and what most people should do. And I'm going to get back to that. Most people should do when it comes to those things is they should be very vigilant of their thoughts and understand that if you say you want it and you act like you want it, that's what you're going to get. And you need to understand that that's what life is going to give you. That's exactly what life is going to give you. If you ask for it, thou shalt receive. And it's the same thing that they say in the Bible. Like all you got to do is ask God. Ask God. It's an affirmation. Ask God. And he shall give it to you, because that's how the universe works. If I ask God for it, then God is going to give it, because thoughts become things, and people need to understand that. So if you have, if it's in you, if it's within you, then it is what it is. That's what you're going to get. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, you're going to get it. So if I'm the type of person that is walking around looking for problems, I'm going to find problems. If I'm in a relationship and I say, I bet if I look through her phone, I'm gonna find something. Yeah, if you look through her phone, yeah, you're gonna find something. That's what a phone is. It's something. Like, yeah, you're gonna find something. Yeah. You probably are. Yeah. So if I think this, if I feel this way about her, then she probably gonna do it. Like, if I think that she gonna cheat on me, she probably gonna cheat on you, because you probably gonna push her to. Like, that's how that works. And though it sounds crazy, it does. It sounds really fucking insane to say, like, if I think this, then it's going to happen. Yeah, some people look at it like, oh, that's that manifestation voodoo shit that people be talking about. Bro, it's real. I'm going to say that I'm a hardcore believer that it's real.
Another thing with that that you can add is that with manifestation comes action. A lot of times negative things come so easily is because we think them, and then without thinking we do those actions to lead to the negative things. But trying to manifest something positive, we think it, but we don't put the actions behind it to get us there. Like with the car, I mean, you could have made it fast.
Exactly.
You could have made it, put a turbocharge in that thing, turbo chip in that.
Took out the back seats.
Bars. I don't know about taking out the back seat though.
Put a roll cage in that thing.
And put a wind up motor on it too, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, man. That's bars right there, man. Because like it's crazy, because it takes the same amount of energy to do both things. It takes the same amount of energy to be negative, and it takes the same amount of energy to be positive. It's just the fact of the matter is that it's easier to be negative, because if like you said, if I don't put the action for it to be positive, it ain't gonna be positive. Yeah. But if I don't do anything, it's negative. Yeah. If I don't do anything at all, it's negative. If I don't nurture my relationship, I get a negative result. If I don't nurture what I have in front of me, it's going to be a negative result. If I don't work at being a successful published author, I'm going to get a negative result. That's just the way it is, and people don't understand that. And like Marcus just said, if you put the actions towards it being a positive, like, shit just don't happen. Yeah, like you walking around here with these blinders on, thinking that everything's just supposed to be good and gravy. You just wake up and just positive shit just gonna happen to you. No, that's not how that works. Like, yo, like for real. Like, of course, if you want to do like your regular mundane things, of course, things are just going to be peachy, hunky-dory if you just going to work every day and ain't doing nothing else. However, you got bills to pay. Life happens to every single person who's alive. If you're living, life happens. Things are not everything is going to be all sunshine and rainbows. You're going to get problems that's thrown at you. How you react to those things are also as well as important as how you feel about how they come at you.
I like this little chart that I have saved to my phone, and it goes, there's like two versions. So it's like at the end, it's like there's no problem, and then it's just a roadmap of how to get to it. There's no problem. It's like, all right, so do you have a problem? Yes. Can you fix it? No. There's no problem. Is there a problem? Yes. Can you fix it? Yes. There's no problem. Do you have a problem? No. Then there's no problem. It's that simple.
Yes, absolutely, man. Like, I'm not saying that the problems ain't gonna come, man. And I'm not saying that you ain't gonna feel some type of way when they hit you, bro. Like, I promise. I had some stuff that was like a gut punch hit me, man. I was just like, don't know. And though, like, you may not be able to fix it in the moment, but yo, you gotta be okay with that. Like, yo, there's literally nothing I can do about this at the moment.
Exactly.
Like when we found the water, like, oh, okay, yep, that's
the problem.
that's sweet, but you know, we had to put the fan down anyway. Let's go ahead and figure it out. Like, yo, for real, like, there's nothing I can do about it right now. I'm not going to rip the wall up right now. Like, I'll handle it tomorrow.
Right.
I handle it tomorrow. Like, yo, like, for real, there's not a lot of things that I put on the back burner and just be like, yo, I'll handle it tomorrow. But like on like real talk, like, and I looked at this like in a completely different way than Alyssa did. But I looked at that, it was like, yo, I see water on the floor, but I still got bigger problems than that right now. Like, I still got bigger problems than that right now. Like, yo, that's all fine and dandy, but yo, what we gonna do about this? Like, yo, for real, like, I still looked at it, and though I'm like, and that's like one of the things that I have to like be aware of is that other people see other things as problems bigger than I do, and people get upset when you don't look at things as at the same level as they look at it. And I'm like, yo, for real, I can't match your energy right now, so I'm gonna walk away. Like, that's what the whole listen but don't absorb thing. That's where it comes in play at. Because even at work, like, everybody in my position, they suck under pressure. Absolutely garbage under pressure. But when I get the same thing, like, yo, for real, they look at me like I don't know what I'm doing because I'm not as upset about it as they are. And I'm like, yo, I got it. I've already figured it out. Like, while you running around in circles trying to figure it out, I already figured it out. Yo, for real. Like, if you give your negative energy to a negative problem, it becomes more negative.
Yeah.
But if you give your positive energy to a negative problem, you just cancel it out. And I think people don't understand that, man.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to be negative. I almost dropped the mic.
But yeah. How can we kind of like bring it back? Well, I mean, we said a lot.
I think we brought it back already. We brought it back a few times actually. I think it was like a juvenile video.
Is that the name of an artist?
Juvenile? Yeah.
Stop. Suburban Colorado, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Man. Wait,
yeah,
hold on. I don't think I can ignore that. You never heard Back That Thing Up?
Dum 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 dum.
That sounds familiar, but I mean,
Girl, you look good when you back that thing up. Girl, who is you playing with? Back that thing up.
oh, that song. I always thought that one was stupid.
It is. It's so repetitive.
It's a retarded song. That was 1999 for you.
Yep, bumped it at every party.
Bro, all right. I'm glad we bought this here. I'm glad we bought this here. So, next door neighbors just had a graduation party for somebody who graduated this year in 2021.
Hey, turn up.
Why the fuck did I hear Back That Thing Up on at their party?
It has to be played. It's a party anthem. That's what that is. It's a celebration anthem.
Absolutely not. So here's the problem. Here's the problem that I have, and I got a theory, right? I got a theory. Black folks never throw parties for what the party is actually for.
Oh no. You just know that? No, like
we are here to celebrate a 16-year-old that just graduated high school, but we playing songs that came out in 1999. They won't even born.
Yeah, let's throw the party.
They won't even born.
The celebration is the excuse to have the party. That's how you do. You can't just have a random party on a random day. No, you got to be celebrating something.
All right. He just canceled my whole logic. He just canceled all my logic. I literally had a conversation with Alyssa about that for like a whole hour, and now Marcus just came and shut it down in like 15 seconds. Like, damn. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm white. It comes with the territory. You guys wanted to pull the black card, so you can have that. I'm not going to do it.
I mean, because I'm
Hispanic too. I'll freak you out. I'm Hispanic. So I mean,
Now wait, hold on. But you guys, Hispanics,
I'm also white though.
they
So,
have parties
white people can't dance.
for
so,
no
I mean, there's
reason.
that. See,
Like they would just get off of work
and just
there's
have
a
really
case
good
of beer,
food.
music blasting,
In the parking lot.
tacos.
In the
Tacos.
in the
I want
parking lot.
tacos.
Say
man.
this because when my homegirl, when she used to live at this trailer court, there was some Hispanics next by, and like every time I would come over there, they just case of beer, music playing, good food. I think they even offered to give us some food one time. We were just like, okay, just ate, but next time I'm definitely coming over.
Leftovers.
I mean, but they
There's
had
always room
they
for
had a big-
tacos.
It is true.
Marcus don't look like the type of person that go to a party and walk away with a plate.
What are you talking about? You call me fat?
I think he's saying that you're not.
Oh, that person that kind of just.
Uh-huh.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I hate those people. Says a lot about a person. Says a whole lot about a person. You walk away with 10 foil.
Oh. Now, what would get me would be one person. They probably had like maybe 2 kids, but they walking away with like 5 sectional freaking.
Yeah,
to go.
that's horrible. That's horrible, man. Like, oh god.
It's gonna be my baby lunch dinner for the next few days.
We eating barbecue for the next 2 weeks. Hate those people. So annoying. Anyway, we should probably go ahead and end this.
Alrighty, but manifestation, people. It doesn't happen without action. I think that kind of rhymed. I don't know. To manifest, it didn't rhyme. Oh, okay.
It's okay. It sounded good.
Happen, action. Yeah, it comes. I don't know. Anyway,
Don't be a loser. Being negative is your chooser.
I knew it was coming. I didn't know when. That was good though. Totally wrong, but that was good though. Because it is your choosure. It's to be negative.
Oh god. Oh damn.
Oh, man.
All right. Yeah. Final words, I guess. Negativity is easy. Positivity is hard. If you're walking around with blinders on, that only means that you haven't taken full scope of everything that can take place around you. It means that you haven't taken accountability for what the world is and what you're able to offer the world. And if you choose to be positive about the things that happen to you and look at it in a positive light and look at it as if no matter what happens to you, you're going to figure it out. Because no matter what happens to you, you got to figure it out anyway. And if you choose to play victim while trying to figure it out and look at yourself as inadequate of figuring it out, then you'll never figure it out. You'll always be giving the power to somebody else to figure it out for you. Don't do that. You are better than that. And especially if you listen to this podcast, I know that you're better than that, because we are not necessarily talking to people who are inadequate. If you were listening to this podcast, I'm telling you that you have permission to be selfish enough to put yourself in a place where you can be optimistic and leave the people who are negative alone, because they will drag you down. They will do nothing but drag you down. You don't have to get rid of your friends, your family, but you're going to have to keep them at a distance to tell them that, look, that is your problem. And I choose to look at this in a higher light. And what you are doing right now is holding me down. So I'm going to choose to not be in your presence right now while you're having this conversation and this meltdown. You can have this meltdown on your own. You can call me later when you figure it out. You have the permission to do that. You have the permission to distance yourself from people who are putting you in a negative space. And if it's your spouse and the person that's sleeping in your bed, then you guys need to figure out how to come to that middle ground and how to grow through it, through whatever problems that you're going through. Because you went into that relationship for a reason. You guys fell in love for a reason, and you need to hold on to that no matter what. That's all I got.
Alrighty, like and comment on our videos and audio on Spotify, videos on YouTube. Leave us a review. We do this for you guys. Thank you for listening and watching. Peace.
Peace, love y'all. See y'all next week.